How's it going, my truant people? DrSlaking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week 1 of the UBL. And if you're thinking, week 1, why is this week 1 now? We've already seen 2 games. Basically, my week 1 opponent dropped, and we had to reschedule with my new opponent, who was very, very good. So huge shout out to BlueJayOnToast, my new opponent. Her link will be down in the description. And today, your Bowland Bovines are taking on, I want to say, Los Angeles Charjabugs. It's definitely the Charjabugs. Los Angeles might be made up. Regardless. I built this team for my actual week 1, or my original week 1 opponent, I should say. Poijz, I believe his name was. And that was, I think we're in week 5 now? Yeah, we're in week 5 now. So that was over a month ago. Huge thank you to, I think, Aquarius and Stromful for mocking with me. This was the only game that I did mocks for, because I wanted to win week 1. And then it didn't matter anyway. But yeah, huge thank you to them. I think they helped me. And huge thank you to Mid Pokemaster for genning my team. Anyway, what I'm going to do is quickly run through the team. I don't remember my opponent's draft. I don't remember what my EV spreads are. Don't remember what my items are or anything. So this is basically just going to be not a team builder research, but a team refresher for me and for you guys, so that you can follow along in the battle, seeing what we have. I'm going to try and show my opponent's team in the battle more. I haven't got to speak about this because we haven't played on the Elgato since, or on the Switch since, but I'm going to try and show you her team more throughout the battle, so you can keep track of her mons as well, because I think in the first game that I uploaded against OPJellicent, I didn't do that very well. You don't care about all that. Let's talk about what we've got. We've got an Assault Vest, Dry Skin, Toxicroak. I'm trying to be quick with this as well, because we're literally about to battle. Yeah, I'm fast. Dry Skin. I think there's like a Milotic, or... No, there's not a Milotic. What is there? I don't know, some kind of water type that the Assault Vest helps me switch in on. Gunk Shot, Low Kick, Sucker Punch, Throat Chop. I know that there is a Dragapult. So we got that Throat Chop and Sucker Punch. Throat Chop will break its sub even if we are burnt with a Will-O-Wisp. So in case like sub Will-O-Wisp type Dragapult, we should be fine. Sucker Punch obviously helps me pick it off. Otherwise, Moonblast, Stun Sport, Encore, Prankster, Whimsicott, Pixie Plate. Fast as well. I can Encore Dragapult into sub if it's that kind of a set. I can Encore it into Will-O-Wisp if it's that kind of set, and I can Stun Spore it if it's not behind a sub to slow it down. If it's a different kind of set, basically, again, just decent, useful for Dragapult. Probably other things on my opponent's team too. Next up, we have Jigglypuff, Sandstream, apparently with an Adamant nature. Leftovers, yeah, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Stealth Rock. Yeah, get hazards up, Heavy Slam stuff, Stone Edge stuff, Earthquake stuff. I mean, Edgequake coverage is always good, and Heavy Slam on Jigglypuff is always pretty solid. So this is the rocker on the team, I guess. Probably a bit of a special wall, I would say, looking at those. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think we've got a bit of speed on this one, if I remember right. Anyway, next we have Extra Drill, Mold Breaker Drill this week. Drilly the K, because this was week 1 before I found out that Drilly the Kid didn't fit as a nickname. I got that fixed for the later weeks, but yeah, not this one. Jolly Nature, Earthquake, Ironhead, Rock Blast, Rapid Spin. I think the Rock Blast was for a Frostmoth that could Quiver Dance up. I outspeed it. Rock Blast will break its Sash if it's Sash, and for some reason I haven't broken its Sash. It just seemed the best way to do it. I believe, did we also have... No, we had Stone Edge on this, not Rock Blast, but yeah, basically just for that eventuality to Revenge Kill, Quiver Dance, Frostmoth. Really, really good match against my opponent's team. Scarf, Earthquake, or Ironhead should sweep at some point. That was how I was winning all my mocks, so that's what we're going to play for. Sash, Spike, lead Yuki here. Yeah, just Sash, Spikes, Ice Shard, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp. I can Ice Shard the Dragapult for good damage. If I want to do that, I can also get Spikes up. My opponent doesn't have good removal, so I really want Spikes up in this game. I was able to run a Rash Nature, apparently, so that's fine. And then last up, I believe this is the last one on the team, our Vullaby with the Overcoat on here. Making us immune to the sand, super nice on the sand team. Really, really bulky. This is my immediate like Dragapult switch in. I can just come in, break it sub with a knockoff. I think even if we're burnt, we pretty much always break it sub with knockoff. As long as we haven't actually knocked off its item, which if it's behind a sub, we won't have done. So in theory, that works. Taunt also stops it from, I don't know what Taunt's for, to be honest. It was for something. Roost there for longevity, and U-turn just to pivot. This thing essentially, you just throw it out, and you click U-turn. That's all you do. That's really all you do. It's just a sponge. Yeah, that was for the other week. So yeah, that's the team. Now you've got an idea of what we're bringing, just so you guys can follow along and scream at me when I make the wrong plays. You can be like, you should have used this, you should have done that. Now you know. I think it's always helpful to have at least an idea of what we're rocking with in the game. But I can't offer you an analytic team builder because I don't even know, other than I had a load of stuff for Dragapult. Obviously, Dragapult's a threat. I know there's also the Elephant Man, the big elephant. I've got to watch out for him. Copperraja, he's a threat. I've just got to never let him on the field, essentially. If I do that, we'll be solid because it just gets a KO whenever it comes in. But all that being said, guys, I will be back in a couple of minutes with the... Well, not in a couple of minutes for you. I'll be back right now with the battle. Hello, so we're back, and I think we're making progress. Sorry, it's so confusing. I'm trying to do a million things at once. It was a very, very poor intro. But I think we're about there. Participating in a live competition. Yes. I'm going to send a good look, have fun to my opponent. And then I'm going to be off Discord because I'm going to need my phone to calc because my setup is so useless while we're doing all this. Yeah, I want that one. Yeah, I wish I knew what I built stuff for. Like, this feels super loose. C152. Okay. Okay. I forgot we have to do the whole seat thing. This whole thing, man. This whole thing. It's a hell of a palaver, but I actually prefer it. I think the battle timer, I think the chess timer should be default for all Pokemon competitions, to be honest with you. Maybe not for VGC, because I guess that's more of a spectator sport, and it's different, it's fast-paced, it's whatever, but... or more of a live spectator. So I don't know, this kind of is too. I don't know, I like the chess timer. I think it's actually the best and most competitive timer we have. But that will probably be met with a lot of disgust and hatred by the community, who generally seem to have turned on it. My opinion is a lot of the players I see struggling with the chess timer the very most are the ones that are either paying the least attention to it or are the least prepared for their games, and that's fine. We invest different amounts of time into our battles. Like me right now, I might take a long time with the chess timer this game because I'm just not prepared, and I think sometimes... you kind of have to accept that. You kind of have to say, well, look, the players that are very fast and never worry about the chess timer, they're clicking their moves, they know their team, they know what they're doing, they're prepared, and also, they're confident players. They're not making long, rambling explanations for their plays and stuff, like I'm doing right now, but not for my plays. They just know they're very decisive. They don't have that kind of anxiety. You see it a lot with new players, and it's not... It sounds like a very harsh criticism to have, but a lot of new players, myself included, when I first start playing, take 10 minutes to think about the turns, not because they're really figuring anything out, because they just have so much anxiety over what play to make, because every play feels like it could lose you the game, which it could, but there's that lack of confidence and decisiveness, which I think good players possess naturally from playing a lot. If you watch actual chess players play chess, they're like, bang, 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 early game, like they're just moving pieces left, right, and centre. There's no... They don't take a bunch of time to think about it because they're just, like I said, very decisive. They know what they're doing. They don't have that kind of fear hold them back. My opponent's saying, we're so close, come on game. I know. It feels like we're right there, and then it's not. I've started it. I'm doing an intro now. Like, we should be ready, and we're not. It's annoying. But, yeah, hopefully, like, my face cam will lag at times during this battle, I think. Hopefully, not too bad, and I apologize in advance if it hasn't already done it for the lag. I've lowered the resolution again on everything, the game, the webcam, everything else. So if you're looking at my Elgato game capture and thinking, wow, his Switch must be rubbish. It's not my Switch, it's my computer. Like, that's why my quality looks worse than everybody else's. Maybe if I get a job, I'll be able to buy a new computer, but then if I get a job, maybe I won't be able to play as much Pokemon, it won't be worth me buying one, because my computer hasn't been switched on in the amount of weeks since I played Kreselle, like 3-4 weeks, so arguably this is all I use it for. But yeah, my opponent said, why did they have to do us like this with putting the new timer on the battles and stuff? Right, as I'm saying to you guys, I quite like the timer, which this is what I mean. I think everyone thinks I'm a jerk because I like the timer. It's that thing where I completely get that it punishes. It makes it a harder barrier to entry, I think. I think it makes it more difficult for newer players, less experienced players, myself sometimes as well. I'm not trying to deny that. I'm not trying to say that I'm so good the timer will never catch me out. Not at all. But I think in terms of kind of elite level play, it's probably the most entertaining and competitive way of doing it. I think for the future of the game, if it wants to be a very competitive serious esport, things like this timer actually would help the game. But that's just my opinion. That's me being stupid. 1-5-1. Oh, I'm so dumb. That's on me. Basically, I was just like, yeah, we must be in land mode because we've already connected. I forgot that you had to do it again. If my opponent's watching, which I doubt they are, but if they're watching, one, thank you for watching, and two, my apologies, I'm stupid. I haven't done this. Basically, for those of you that don't know, we all have like a video tutorial that we watch, which is how we know how to do all this stuff. We're not all tech geniuses. I'm far from it, as you can see. But we watched a video tutorial and I didn't bother to rewatch it. I thought I'd remember it all from when I played OPJellicent 5 weeks ago. There's an argument that was an arrogant and stupid thing to think because clearly I didn't know it. But actually, like, it hasn't been too bad. Alright, so check opponent's team. This is what I need to remember to do more. I'm going to drop another good look, have fun, because we've spoken since the last one. I don't know. Regardless, alright, concentrate. Rotom, wash, I got my trusty pen and paper, and by pen and paper I mean envelope that I haven't opened because I never open my post, or mail if you're American. Clefable, I've got a minute left, easy. Copperajah, and I know my lead almost certainly because I don't see the Hitmonchan. I do see the Shiftry. Wow, I thought Shiftry would never come. I was like, Shiftry has no matchup against me, I remember saying that. I was wrong. That sucks because that's an Earthquake resist. I got to break through the Ghost Boy, the big Ghost Boy, and then once I've done that, Drilly the Kid can Iron Head through. So how am I going to break down Cofagrigus? That was something that I did struggle with a little bit in mocks, but hopefully my gal Nivea can lure in the Cofagrigus and beat it down. Low kick, we can hit the Copperajah. In an ideal world, Copperajah will be the lead, and it just will want to get Stealth Rocks up, and I can not only get a Spike up, but I can burn the Copperajah. That would be incredibly good for me, as Copperajah then would be much less of a threat. Need to watch out for like potential earthquake on it. God, that music's so loud in my headphones. So loud. I don't like that. We'll put that down there. Okay, perfect. Please don't make anything crash. Oh my god, that quality looks awful on my PC. I hope the quality doesn't look as bad for you as it looks for me. That Rotom looks shocking. Regardless. Alright, I didn't look at my opponent's trainer card again. I always want to look at that, and I never do. So this thing probably just wants to Volt Switch out or Pump. There's not too much I can do. I didn't know they had a Rotom Wash. I guess that's why I'm Mold Breaker. I'm just going to Spike up. If it's Scarf, that'll be good information. My Drill will outspeed it. I'm pretty sure I would have speed crept this with Drill. We did see I was Jolly Drill. Yeah, looking at... Okay, it's not Scarf. Good to know. Hydro Pump comes straight out, and we avoid... Oh, that sucks. You could argue you should have Thunderbolted, but my opponent might not have Thunderbolt, so in which case I completely understand the pump play, and I feel bad for the dodge. I'm gonna hugely take advantage and click Spike again. Then do I want to prioritize damage, or do I want to prioritize another Spike? How many Spikes do I need in this game? Okay, we get pumped for our trouble. See, if my opponent wants to... we actually don't need our Sash. Interesting. If my opponent wants to pump again, they could miss. If they want to Volt Switch out, something coming in is going to have to take Spikes and then give me the momentum anyway. I think I'm just going to go for... Look how cool my opponent's trainer thing looks. I matched mine with the black hoodie. I try and change my clothes to match what I'm wearing in real life. My hair, for how long my hair gets. My hair is not that long, but there isn't a shitty in-between hair length on this game. I know I'm wasting my time with doing this, but I think I'm just going to Spike again. because damage on this, well, no, I'm not. I've got 2 up. Let's not be greedy. Let's get damage on this, because that is valuable. That is valuable. As my opponent does Volt Switch. Man, I wish I'd spiked. I mean, this thing doesn't get worn down by Rotom gets 1 KO. And Frostlass takes a feint. Yeah, I wish I'd taken this. I wish I'd put a spike down just to get an extra spike on whatever came in, because that thing. Well, the thing is, I'm looking at maybe trying to Iron Head sweep actually rather than Earthquake sweep. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The Clefable wants to come out here. Because of the Magic Guard, it's not going to take any damage. See, I could use Nivea now. And Gunk Shot lure in the Cofagrigus. Break through that. Or I could try and get my rocks up. What comes in on Jigglypuff? Maybe the Shift Tree, which gives a Defog. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So let's go Nivea. I don't want to let the Shift Tree in and just let it defog for free. That seems really bad. This is where I should be using the X button to show you guys what I'm looking at. So looking at my envelope. I'm sorry. It helps me to write it down because I don't know when I can check. Oh, it's not even the X button. It's the plus button. See, like, I should be doing this, right, so you guys can see, and I'm not. So I apologize for that. Anyway, I'm just going to Gunk Shot here. If my opponent has Psychic, like, I'm pretty confident we'll take 1. We are Assault Vest. Unless it's like a Life Orb offensive, but like then Gunk Shot might just ruin its life. So I could try and like Throat Chop predicting the Cofagrigus, but I don't feel the need to do that right now. As my opponent does stay in, we do land. Is it going to be a Psychic then or a Moonblast, or it's just going to be dead? That's a dead Clefable. Love to see it. Toxicroak putting in some work already. Love my girl Nivea coming through with 1. Man, why didn't this thing get close combat though? Come on, Game 3, you gave everything close combat. You looked at this and you went, nah, Drain Punch for Fighting Stab. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, why? Why couldn't you have given it CC? This thing deserved to have CC. Justice for Toxicroak. So this comes out, again, not going to overthink, just going to low kick, attack what's in front of me. Could be Chople Earthquake, in which case I might die. Will that be the end of the world? No. Honestly, my opponent is having a very difficult time dealing with Toxicroak right now. Very difficult time dealing with Toxicroak right now. Toxicroak is going crazy right now. I'm really surprised this was the switch in, but Chople, no Chople. So another one goes down. Copperaja. So 0 for 1 for Copperaja, 0-1 for Clefable. 2 KOs for Toxicroak. Come on, Nivea. Keep doing this. Keep doing this. Unfortunately, this isn't really helping my end game. This is something important to kind of think about when you're playing. Is like, yes, we've managed to pick up 2 early KOs, which is super nice and good damage on Rotom. But Clefable and Copperaja weren't really going to deal with Excadrill anyway, and Excadrill's really out WinCon. So there's that. I'm just going to. What am I just going to do? This thing's still really useful. I'm going to go into New World. That's what it's here for. It's here to be a sponge. I thought about just Sucker Punching / Throat Chopping. But I don't want this thing to just burn me. This is still so good for the Shift Tree. The Toxicroak that is still so good for the Shift Tree. Or just KOing me with that, because that would potentially hurt. That would potentially hurt a lot. I knew I was able to tank it. Do we see an item? No item. I'm not going to calc that. I don't. It could be specs. It could be specs. Well, what comes in here on me? I don't want to just let the Shift Tree in. I don't want to just let the Cofagrigus in. I'm just going to U-turn. Like, this thing. That's what it's here to do. If it gets KO'd here or whatever, fine. If not, I can get in my Whimsicott on this thing with a drop special attack. And I can potentially just use Moonblast. Like, what's coming in on Moonblast? Whimsicott looks incredible in this game now. That's fine. New World essentially is going to become sack fodder. But let's quickly, while the animation's playing, let's have a look. Vullaby. I could go into like a Gigalith or something and try and get rocks up, but I don't think I need them right now. I've got 2 layers of spikes. We're sitting pretty. I'm going to change Dragapult to level 50. So we should have been seeing that Draco Meteor doing 37 to 44, and it definitely did more than that. So could be modest. Could be modest. Could be modest. Let's actually have a look at if we change it to modest. And then I'm just going to go into Storm here. Maybe I could have just doubled in Storm and saved my HP on no, because if he'd gone into Cofagrigus, or she'd gone into Cofagrigus, sorry, I wouldn't have wanted Storm out particularly. So here I'm just going to Moonblast. I see no... Yeah, Cofagrigus can come in, but like it doesn't want to take a Moonblast. I'm just going to Moonblast. I see no reason not to while I continue calculating this. Yeah, that's not even... it could be like a Draco Plate, or whatever the Dragon Plate is, or Dragon Fang, or I don't know, whatever the Dragon Boosting item is. But I suspect that is actually a choice specs, because that can't be Modest Scarf. And that's really all I wanted to know about the Dragapult set was, could it be Modest Scarf? And the answer seems to be no. I'm going to stay in and Moonblast... Yeah, because it can't be Scarf Dragapult, which means that my Excadrill is looking real good right now, and that thing's got that thing's got to come back in on, yeah. It's got to come back in on 2 layers of spike. So Iron Head's looking good, Earthquake potentially looking good. So I don't super need HP on this, because if it Trick Rooms, like I want to Encore it into Trick Room. So I'm going to Moonblast because I want to be able to Encore it into Trick Room if that's the case. If it doesn't Trick Room, then I'm going to go out into New World probably and sack that as we crit. I'm really sorry to my opponent. I might as well stay in down attack because that's that might have been a 2-hit KO anyway. Yeah, because that's special defense, not special attack. That might have been a 2-hit KO anyway. That might have been a 2-hit KO anyway. Maybe the crit does not matter. I think crit does 1.5 times right, so it looks as though that would have been a 2-hit KO anyway. That being said, this is something that I think people don't talk about enough with Pokemon. Sometimes, even if a crit doesn't matter, after you've already missed a Hydro Pump and then you get a crit, it can just put you on tilt. It can just affect the way you play, and it's all well and good people saying, well, the crit didn't matter in the post-game analysis, but in the moment when you're playing and you're trying to live com, it can feel rough, and it can just it can make your plays worse. Playing on tilt is something I've done a lot. Lost a lot of games doing that. So I don't ever to just sit back and go, well, we would have 2-hit KO'd anyway, because doesn't mean it feels good for my opponent. It still feels bad, you know. So this thing, I mean, I've taken a Spadef drop. Specs Shadow Ball shouldn't. No, Specs Shadow Ball isn't going to sweep me. What does my opponent have left? As Cofagrigus also went down, Shift Tree and Dragapult. So if I get damage on this, like my Iron Head sweeps, my Iron Head's going to sweep. So I'm just going to prioritize damage. I'm not going to overthink. As Whimsicott also picked up a KO. I forgot to add that. Did it pick up 1? Yeah, it picked up 1. Picked up 1. As we do a good chunk there as well, and I'm glad we stayed in because that would have been a problem if we see Salak Berry or something like that from the low health. We can Encore it into Nasty Plot. Oh no, leftovers. Okay, in that case, there's no way my opponents outspeeded me. They just had to try and bluff me out and set up. I completely understand them doing that. Just try and scare me out and get a setup. They're definitely in the back right now, so I can understand them wanting. You know, they might have thought, oh, he's just going to sack off his Vullaby. So let me set up and punch a hole. As it happens, it wouldn't have mattered because I could have brought in Scarf Excadrill to EQ anyway to revenge them. But if I wasn't Mold Breaker Jiral, then I potentially wouldn't be able to revenge them, and then they might be aware of that. Out comes the Hokage. Very cool nickname. Very cool nickname. I'm going to Moonblast again. Whimsicott going crazy right now. Whimsicott going crazy. Ah, Fake Out. Nice. Nice, nice. I don't crit. I don't think Sucker Punch will kill anyway. Do you think U-Turn does more? Do I think U-Turn does more? No, I don't. I don't think it does more. It's 4 times effective, so it might. Could potentially be Tanga Berry, though, more likely than Roselli Berry on a Shift Tree. And if Dragapult comes in, like let's say it's Choice Band Fake Out, which it doesn't look like it was, and they want to switch out to Dragapult now, then I'd rather just Moonblast. But I don't know. I could have encored him into fake out. That would have been a better play. That would have been a much, much better play. But it doesn't matter. It would have just saved differential. I could have potentially still taken a hit from Dragapult. If it's Specs Shadow Ball, though, I really couldn't. So, swings and roundabouts as Whimsicott picks up another KO. This thing comes in on spikes. Sorry. I'm going to go into this thing because even if it's a Will-O-Wisp set, I'm still going to be able to break its substitute and then kill it with Excadrill. So, Dragon Dance would be the only problem here, but then I've still got Sucker Punch. So, and I'm pretty sure it's like Specs or something. Scold on the dry skin. That made me look way better than I am. Did not plan that at all. And I'm just going to Throat Chop. I'm not going to mess around. If I die to a Draco, I die to a Draco. But yeah, it's choiced. I thought it was probably choiced. And we're just going to pick up the final KO here with Throat Chop. I can see why they went for the Scold, because if this thing wasn't Dry Skin, Spec Scold was their best chance of sweeping my team with the Vullaby low. With the Vullaby low and... Oh, they've got the Bull Guy in their training card. Everyone loves Bull Guy. I'm scared of him. I'm genuinely scared of Bull Guy. GG to my opponent, by the way. What I was going to say is I can understand why they went for the Scold, because if you look to the rest of my team, Gigalith, it wouldn't have died to a Scold, but the best chance, like crit Spec Scold, would have been the best way of hitting me without dropping their special attack, and super effective. The little Mole Man, Excadrill, if for some reason I was not Sandrush and not Scarf, like Banded Mold Breaker, potentially would have killed me with Spec Scold, I'm pretty sure. Whimsicott was very low and Vullaby was very low, so those would both die, and potentially could have burnt my Toxicroak if I didn't have Sucker Punch and maybe beaten me that way. I could have missed my Stone Edge with my Gigalith, so I think there was a chance, if my sets were different, that Spec Scold could have swept me. Probably the best chance if I wasn't Dry Skin on Nivea, but there we go. So anyway, my commentary was probably awful again. I'm really sorry. I'm out of practice of doing live cons. It's been years, and I'm trying to play the game as well. But we get a big win. We get a big win. We lost Yuki. We lost Yuki, and that was it. 3 KOs for Toxicroak, 3 KOs for Whimsicott, and just the 1 death for Frostlass, who put in the work with the spikes, putting everything in range. I mean, that's why... where this meta game in particular is very difficult, I think, because we're playing pre-home and just not a lot of stuff has defog. So being able to abuse the hell out of that is tough. Spikes and webs and stuff are very good in this meta game. Anyway, that's enough from me, guys. Thank you so much for loafing around with me. GG again to my opponent, and I'll catch you again next time.